All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping into the 7 core ideas from one of the internet's most explosive entrepreneurs, Luke Belmar. His journey is pretty wild, so let's get right into the framework he uses.
9 million. Just let that number sink in. That's how many followers Luke Belmar racked up in his very first year online. His strategy went completely viral, pulling in over 1 billion views. I mean, that's a massive impact that you just can't ignore.
Now look, when anyone blows up that fast, you're going to get some strong opinions. A lot of people see him as a business genius. But, his aggressive style has definitely stirred up some controversy. For this explainer, we're going to park all that to one side and just focus, really objectively, on the 7 core ideas he talks about again and again.
We've broken it all down into 3 big themes for you. First, building wealth. Second, adopting a growth mindset. And third, the pursuit of truth. So, let's kick things off with the money.
Okay, Section 1, Building Wealth. We're going to cover his 2 main pillars for what he calls financial success.
So, at the very heart of Belmar's whole financial philosophy is this thing he calls the trifecta of money. He basically says if you can master these 3 principles, you get an almost unfair advantage in whatever you're doing. And here's how it works. First up, find a market with high demand. Sounds obvious, right? But then, number 2, you can't just be in it. You have to be the best at what you do. That's how you command top dollar. And third, and this is crucial, you have to make yourself irreplaceable by developing those human-centric skills. Things like negotiation, leadership, creativity, the stuff that AI just can't replicate.
Okay, this next idea is a really powerful one. Belmar uses this great analogy. He says you can either spend your life chasing butterflies, constantly hunting for the next paycheck, the next client, or you can build a garden, an entire ecosystem that naturally attracts those opportunities, those butterflies, to you.
And this right here perfectly explains that garden concept. Think about it. Millionaires sell products, but billionaires? People like Jeff Bezos with Amazon. They build whole ecosystems where other people can become millionaires. It's all about creating a platform for shared success, and it's a principle Belmar tries to apply to his own communities.
All right, Section 2, adopting a growth mindset. Because for Belmar, your internal framework, what's going on in your head, is what makes any of these strategies actually work or completely fail.
Someone once asked him what kind of person will never become wealthy, and his answer was immediate: the arrogant and the self-righteous. He is convinced that humility is the absolute foundation for learning and for growth. Because, if you think you know it all, you've already stopped growing.
So, how do you actually stay humble? He suggests you got to become a student of life. Intentionally put yourself in rooms where you're the dumbest person there. Actively seek out knowledge that challenges what you think you know. Anything to break out of that echo chamber. The goal is to always be learning.
And this leads us to a really crucial distinction he makes: scarcity versus abundance. Belmar truly believes your mindset creates your reality. A scarcity mindset sees closed doors and blames everyone else. But an abundance mindset, it sees opportunity everywhere. It focuses on getting better every day, knowing that success is just a natural byproduct of that growth.
And to support that kind of growth, Belmar says you need 3 key relationships in your life. You need mentors, people ahead of you to guide you. You need peers, people beside you to challenge you. And you need mentees, people you can teach. He says that guiding others is the ultimate way to really master what you know yourself.
And that brings us to our final section, the pursuit of truth. This is really the philosophical core that kind of holds his entire framework together.
Now, a really key idea here is the distinction Belmar makes between religion and truth. It's interesting because he quotes Christian scripture all the time, but he doesn't call himself a Christian. For him, religion is a system, a structure, created by people. Truth, well, truth is something else entirely. He comes back to this quote over and over. And for him, the most important word in that whole sentence is no. He argues that just believing in a system isn't the final goal, because belief by itself doesn't set you free. He says only knowing the truth can do that. And that's why he calls himself a seeker of truth. He's open to finding wisdom anywhere, not just from one single source.
To explain his final point, he uses this simple but honestly pretty profound analogy. A lemon tree can call itself an apple tree all day long, but it's only ever going to produce lemons. Why? Because its fruit reveals its real nature.
And the point of that analogy is this: your faith isn't what you say it is, it's what you do. Your true beliefs, what you really stand for, they show up in your actions, in your character, and in the fruits you produce in the world. Things like kindness, integrity, peace. If your actions don't match your words,
well then the words are pretty much meaningless.
So let's pull all that together. Here are the 7 key takeaways from Luke Belmar's entire framework.
Number 1, master that trifecta of money. 2, build an ecosystem. Don't just chase butterflies. 3, be a humble student of life. 4, adopt an abundance mindset. 5, cultivate those 3 key relationships. 6, seek truth over religion. And finally, number 7, let your actions, not your words, define what you believe.
And that's our breakdown of Luke Belmar's 7 core ideas. So the question I'll leave you with is this. Looking at that list, which one of these ideas resonates the most with where you are on your own path? Right now. Thanks for watching.